What's good? It's a stream caution. Today I'm finna go over my official AEW Wrestledream Predictions. Finna go over every match on the card, what I think of every single match, what I think of the build, what I can think leading to after every single match. If you like daily wrestling content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I upload daily wrestling content. I'm finna jump straight into the predictions. The first match I want to start off with is the I Quit match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. This match should be very interesting, very chaotic with these two guys' wrestling style. Darby Allin being basically a human crash test dummy, and then Jon Moxley with his extreme style. This should be very interesting. Now, I feel like can only go one way. Now, we know the Death Riders are going to be involved in this match. It's just whether or not Darby is going to get any type of help from anybody. I think Darby is going to win here. I think it makes sense for Darby to win here. The story is just Darby trying to get his revenge from the Death Riders. Trying to get payback. I don't see where you could go from here after this match. If Moxley wins, this should be the end of the feud. If Darby wins, this should be the end of the feud. There should be no more after this. There should be no more Death Riders and Darby after this match. Like you can't go beyond an I Quit match. Like that should be the end. Now, babyfaces typically don't lose I Quit matches. They typically don't. Like the only time babyfaces lose I Quit matches are typically by some type of shenanigans where they're threatening another person. Like, you have to do a lot for the babyface to say I quit. They just never do. Typically, the heel always says I quit. The only time I can remember a babyface saying I quit is when Edge said he quit against Finn Balor, if I'm not mistaken. But that was due to them attacking Beth Phoenix. So it's like, typically, you got to do stuff like that in order for them to say quit. And Darby is literally the definition of the ultimate babyface who would never say I quit. Like, so, this should be a really fun match. This should be a very wild, chaotic match. They're probably going to do another moment with their ear again, where they're going to probably do something with the ear that they've been doing with their matches. They're probably going to do something like that again. Overall, I am excited for this match. I don't care for the story. I just know the match will be good. Now, I will be there in person. I will be there. So that should be a fun experience. I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to still go, but the card looks somewhat decent to a degree. So I am somewhat excited to be there live, be there in person. But overall, I think this should be a banger match, but I think Darby Allin should be picking up the victory here. Now we get the TNT Championship match between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe. They've been telling the story of Mark Briscoe trying to win a championship, going through, MJF, going through, the Don Callis family. So it looks like they're setting their focus on him going after the TNT Championship and Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher is winning. He should not be losing the TNT Championship anytime soon, even though the TNT Championship doesn't mean anything. But Kyle Fletcher should not be losing. He should not be losing this championship anytime soon. He should literally he should be the person you think of when you think of TNT Championship. Like, he should go on a dominant reign, defeating everybody until he's ready to move on to bigger things. Mark Briscoe, I don't know what you do with Mark Briscoe, because Mark Briscoe is very weird. It's like they're trying to book him as a main eventer, but at the same time not. It's giving me LA Knight vibes. Like, they're trying to put him in main event scene, but they're also not trying to pull the trigger at the same time. It's very weird with their booking with Mark Briscoe. Now, I like Mark Briscoe, but Mark Briscoe, he's a very acquired taste. He is someone where I don't want to see him consistently winning matches all the time. I don't mind him winning. He's someone that I just don't want to see winning a championship, but if he does win a championship, I don't mind it. He is over with the crowd, so I understand why he's in these positions. Plus, the TNT Championship, I don't mind. World title picture, that's where it's like, okay, I don't know if I really buy that. But this should be a very interesting match. Mark Briscoe puts on good matches. Kyle Fletcher is one of the better in-ring workers in AEW. Kyle Fletcher hasn't really had a bad match that I can really think of. So the match should be an absolute banger. I'm excited for it. So interested to see how this plays out. But I think Kyle Fletcher should win this match. They may end up having Kyle Fletcher cheat, because Mark Briscoe, I was going to say he's protected, but I don't know if but he takes a lot of L's, so maybe not. But Kyle Fletcher should be picking up the victory here. Now we get the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Okay, this match I want to care so much about, but it's hard for me to care when they have done little to nothing to make me care. Okay, so you get Jurassic Express making their return, attacking the Young Bucks, but we never got an explanation still. It's been weeks now that we still haven't got an explanation for why Jack Perry don't like the Young Bucks. Like, the last time we seen Jack Perry before his return, he was literally a part of the Elite. There was no tease of him betraying them. So it's like, why do you hate the Elite all of a sudden? Like, and plus, he only hates the Young Bucks. He hasn't even interacted with Okada. So it's like, you hate the Young Bucks, but you don't hate Okada. Like what? Like, y'all was all a part of the same faction. Like, I don't understand this logic here. Like, they still haven't explained that. Plus, they still haven't explained why Jurassic Express teamed back together. They haven't explained Jack Perry finding Luchasaurus. What did he eject him with? Why? Like, they still haven't explained none of that. So they're just randomly paired together. Now, it's for $500,000 due to the Young Bucks need money due to them playing this gimmick of them being broke. So they're still doing that whole thing. Look, the match should be good. I just wish that they gave us further explanation of why this is happening, because they still haven't given us reasoning why Jack Perry don't like the Young Bucks. Like, the last time, if I'm remembering, that we even seen these two interact with each other before, he returned, of course, was when they was doing the whole Death Riders thing and they was all running away. That's the last memory I have of them being together, but I may be tripping. It may have been some other stuff before then, but I remember before he was feuding with, like, Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship, but, like, I just don't understand why they're feuding. It doesn't make sense why they're really feuding, to be honest with you. And it seems like only Jack Perry really cares. It seems like Jack Perry cares about the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks just care about getting their money. So it's a very weird dynamic, if I'm being honest. But the match should be good. But I think they're going to have Jurassic Express win, continue the trope of the Young Bucks being broke, trying to find their way in AEW without them being EVPs. But I think Jurassic Express is going to pick up the victory. Now we get Bro Dito versus Konosuke Takeshita and Okada for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Honestly, I don't really know why this match is happening. Now, I know they end up having I know they end up having some type of match where on Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken, which caused the shenanigans. I don't think it was I don't think it was a tag team title match. I don't think so. But this match is basically set up, personally, just to set up the Okada and Konosuke feud. That's really what it's set up for. So I think Bro Dito will retain. It's going to be some type of shenanigans, whether Don Callis get involved or some miscommunication, because Konosuke clearly don't like Okada. Okada don't like Konosuke. This is going to play into the story to eventually, whenever they feud, I don't know when they're going to feud, probably around the Continental Classic. That's probably when they're going to build that rivalry, where they're probably going to meet in the finals and finally have that match. But this is just to build tension between the two, where with them not being on the same page, with them not liking each other. This is just to build until eventually that match happens for the Unified Championship. So Bro Dito is going to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. The next match we have is the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate. This is very strange. I really don't know why I really don't want to see this match. I'm going to be honest with you, especially after they just had a street fight on Dynamite. Like, I feel like the street fight should have been the end of the feud, but I understand why it's not, because it's tied 1-1, but it's like, why did you have a street fight as the second match when that should have just been the ending match? I don't understand it. Plus, the reason why they're feuding kind of don't make sense. Now, I know that they cost the Hurt Syndicate the tag titles, but the reasoning why they cost them the Hurt Syndicate the tag title doesn't make sense, because Ricochet never really explained why. All he said was that they have history. He never went in depth on the history, so it's still a bit confusing. But the match should be fine. I'm just not excited for it because, again, the lack of storytelling in AEW is a bit ridiculous. But the match should be fun. It should be a fun match in person. I feel like me being there live is going to make the show a lot better than what it actually is going to be, because actually seeing it live, being there in person, is going to be a really crazy experience. So that part should be good, but I'm not really looking forward to the match. I'm not really looking forward to this match, to be honest. But I think the Hurt Syndicate is going to pick up the victory. I just have a hard time seeing the Hurt Syndicate put over the Demand twice. Especially because MVP was the one that got pinned, not Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. So I just have a hard time seeing them putting them over twice. So I have the Hurt Syndicate picking up the victory here. Chris Statlander versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. This is very interesting. Now Toni Storm basically wanted her rematch to basically see who's really the best. So Chris Statlander, of course, being the babyface she is, agrees. This is very interesting because I can see this going either way. I think Chris Statlander needs to retain here, though, because why would she lose it so quickly? And if she just loses it immediately, that just proves that Chris Statlander, her win was a fluke. Like, we need her to be legitimate. Now, the only problem is I don't see her winning cleanly, though, because Toni Storm is very protected. So Chris Statlander isn't going to cheat. She's a babyface. So I see something happening here, whether some type of interference, maybe the Triangle of Madness come in. I don't know, but something is going to happen. A roll-up pin, I don't know. But Toni Storm is not losing purely clean. They're going to protect her in some way, in my opinion. I don't know, but either way, Chris Statlander needs to retain. She needs to go on a run, have Toni Storm do some other stuff, whether it's going away for a bit or do some non-title feuds, because she do not need to be in the world title picture right now. She's done everything you can do with the world title. Let her do other things. But I think Chris Statlander needs to pick up the victory. And plus, If Toni Storm lose, you could tell a story with her going crazy, going psycho. You could do like a Bayley's type storyline, her getting a new personality possibly, with her losing her mind, with her not having the title. So I think they could go that route. But I'm interested to see how this match plays out, but I think Chris Statlander will retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Now we get the main event, the match that I'm the most excited about, even though the story makes no fucking sense. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Okay, so this is happening strictly because of miscommunication of Hangman giving Samoa Joe his title, and Samoa Joe didn't grab it, so he felt like he was disrespected. It's fucking stupid, but we're here. Like I've been saying, Hangman has no fucking opponents due to all the injuries, so they're just randomly throwing out matches with little to no build that make no sense. Hangman is winning. It's really that simple. Hangman is winning. He's finally going to beat Samoa Joe. That's really it. I'm excited for the match, but I'm not going to act like there's some deeper analysis of why I think Hangman is winning. Like, he's going to win, go on a run for a little bit. That's really it. Not really excited for his run because AEW run as champion has been bad, but it's not his fault. It's the booking of his run because the stories make no fucking sense like this one. But it should be a banger match. What we go from here, I don't know. I don't know if Samoa Joe stays heel. I don't know if he goes after Hangman again. I really don't know because his Hangman's run has been very unpredictable, but it's unpredictable in a very bad way. So we'll see how this plays out. But Hangman retains. Overall, I'm excited to see how this show plays out, especially due to me being live. But you guys let me know your overall thoughts, opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.